Hello, welcome everyone. Bruce Schwartz here from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. We saw a part of this yesterday, a bit further away, and now we're going to slow it down, zoom in a lot more. We're seeing unidentified flying objects firing on the surface of the moon, and I can't speculate enough of what we're seeing right here. We're seeing debris lifting up off the surface, and by slowing it down, I really want you to check out that UFO. Its phases, the steps it does. So now it's one thruster, then two thrusters, but then they turn yellow. Watch, there we go. And they turn yellow before lighting up too. So there's different stages as you see this object thrusting up or lighting up. So I don't think this one's a biological creature. But again, we have no idea what we're looking at. All we know is that we're looking at something so close and pressed up to the surface of the moon that it is definitely in the atmosphere of the moon, over the surface, or in lunar orbit. That is for sure. But we're seeing it come out of Clavius crater's darkness, and it's literally stalking there because it's in the dark, no thrusters. And here, watch this, two dots that you see, whoop, yellow, but still not lit up, just lit up, not thrusting. And now it's going to thrust. And then you see an immense light, a gigantic light source from this object, and also beams of light that are being projected 360 degrees. Now look at this lifting up off the surface. Slowed it down a lot more than yesterday. I hope everyone saw this because it's an amazing view of some real close-up truth. Let's get in a lot closer, slow it down a lot more. I got rid of a lot of noise. That's what I'm trying to do because there's a lot of noise in this. We're pretty close up, right? As for scale and ratio. Clavius crater, guys, this is just the edge of Clavius crater. So let me tell you, we're close up. Just can't get over the beauty of that object lighting up and thrusting. And you can really see once it thrusts, there's a humongous explosion that goes all the way from the surface and up. You got to wonder what it is. You're seeing projectiles being flung from this object. Now watch the splash. There it is. Now, whether that be a bunch of UFOs leaving, scout crafts leaving this mothership, I don't know. But this object is a mile wide. The light is, anyways, maybe not the craft itself or object itself. But now, this is really cool. I took down all the exposure, no filtering here, by the way. Just took down the exposure. That's why it's red. Don't just try it yourself and you'll see what I mean. I don't add saturation. There's no need to. I can enhance the light at times, but there's no need to. So what you're seeing here is just the fire from the UFO itself and any and every, most object that is coming to and from it around it. It's just incredible to see this spark up on the surface. And guys, this is one of many UFOs on the surface. That's what you have to say to yourself. That is like only one. So now let's slow it down a lot more. I'm a lot slower, a lot closer. The exposure taken down to see where we are, and you see this object thrusting, and you see inside the light, you do see two spots. It really does make me think of thrusters, but there it is in close detail, that object on the surface. There's fire coming from it, guys. It's not just an orb. This thing is interacting with the surface, and there's projectiles being shot out of it. So it's pretty incredible. By taking down the exposure, you can see more of a shape. And it's always that same pill shape that we're seeing all the time. Nonetheless, really impressive though. You know, even the military declassified some UFOs, and that's basically what they look like, guys, just those lights. Remember this yesterday? Let's see it with inversion over it so that we can really see the outlining of what I'm trying to tell you guys is down there on the surface. This object would be many miles wide, but under 125 kilometers, or maybe also 100 miles. You could clearly see an amazing outline. Also, a lot of symmetrical objects, spots on the surface. And why are they spots? Because, well, we're far away. I understand that. But they have a symmetrical value, and if they're being seen, it's not something that's as big as a building. It's something that looks like a building, but it's as big as a town. Here, close up, that UFO. Oh no, I'm sorry guys. Here's another UFO in footage of December 2018. And this object also fires objects. Now watch here, lights interacting again from this darn object on the surface. There are so many of them down there. There's that light right there out of it. So what I'm doing now is I'm looking through my footage to try to notice by slowing down and zooming in even more, even if there's some pixelation that you can even probably see up on the top right there in the red and the yellow. Really doesn't matter because we're trying to focus in on this beautiful UFO and it's working. That's what we're able to focus in on. And that's what I'm trying to concentrate on anyways. These are surface constructed objects. There are many, there are thousands on the surface. They are not hiding, but this cloud cover that's amongst them is leaving everyone believe that the surface is very, very flat. And when, in reality, it is not. I mean, look closely. They're nice strips and rows with objects side by side, the distanced properly and uniformly symmetrical. There's no denying it, absolutely no denying it. It's not that bad of a view either. It's a simple inverted shot, X-ray processing. It's my process. There's no manipulation on the surface. And it's an amazing, amazing view. That is really what's down there. If I'm showing you this with the green colors, you're looking at what is really on the surface. No, I don't know what it is, but you have to agree with the symmetrical values. What do you think of the craters? They're the same. The one in the center is exactly the same as the one in the right. How can you have, guys, this is, a wide crater. How can there be that many symmetrical values for them? Think of it. Here a UFO arriving to the surface of the moon. It goes underneath the veil, that light, that cloud cover. You could see lights behind it interacting. This was caught with a P900. If you slow down the footage, you'll see it. You have to take the time to zoom into these areas. We're not going to see it like in a movie. You're not going to see license plates, It's not going to happen at all. They're hiding themselves. They don't have labels. You're not going to see Air Canada on the side of one of these crafts. Feast your eyes on this. These are the white objects on the top side of the moon that have very, very symmetrical objects inside of those white, glaring, bright areas. You tone down the exposure. No manipulation, no need for any tampering whatsoever. These objects are there. I've done this clarification with all my telescopes and with every camera I've had so far, from the D3400, the P900 also. I was able to show this with cameras, with telescopes. It's really there. And I find this is the most beautiful part of the surface. You know why? Guys, it is the surface. The top side of the moon, you can't see these structures or objects. They're there. They're absolutely there. And why not talk about them or show them? These objects also have some characteristics that lead me to believe that maybe, possibly, some ancient civilization could have also have been up there on the moon. But don't get that wrong. Don't get me wrong. There is modern civilization up there, definitely, because the interaction and the movement, the lights, the glowing lights, and the structures we are seeing, the clouds, hazes, and smokes. You have to use your common sense. I'm not exaggerating at all. The moon's inhabited. There's someone up there. And if it's not being lived on, it's being actively visited. You could be sure as heck there's definitely some areas where people are staying overnight on here. They could be working up there, right? We're not sure. But if we think that possibly they're mining up on the moon, wow. Could you imagine how much traveling goes to and from the moon? Then you have to wonder and speculate, are humans also working in this? Have we interacted? Robert Goudreau, thanks so much for joining the community and for the support. Thanks for the generous contributions. Looking forward to interacting with you guys in the comment section.